We did that all the time. Did it for a long time.
But like, did you carry rations with you for a certain period of time?
We had what they called C rations. S-E-A, C rations. Not the American letter C rations. And they were terrible. You couldn't even eat the damn things. The biscuits, it was like a square biscuit. You couldn't even bite them. They were so hard. So of course what you did, you foraged for food wherever you could. Hell, we stole vegetables out of gardens and everything else. I mean, that's what you had to do.
Did you carry like a bedroll with you or not? You had to just sleep wherever you
Well,
could.
all I had was a ground sheet, and the ground sheet served as a cape. You put it over your head, and it was cut so that the front hung down and the back hung down. And when you opened it up, it formed like a 6 feet long ground sheet, and that's what you slept on. And a lot of like I say, a lot of the houses were bummed out. So of course we sleep in the houses. We'd find a mattress and we'd sleep on a mattress. I mean, because the people were gone, they were hiding, whatever, you know.
So were you fighting at all during the winter months?
Oh yeah, yeah. Anytime the weather, I mean, didn't make any difference. Because oh yeah, and the only time I ever seen a picture of that bridge that we were guarding on the Canal was the other day during one of those programs. And that's, of all the war pictures I've ever seen, I've never seen that bridge. And this one incident was, I said, that's the bridge I was at, you know. But it was funny, the first night we were there, they had a guardhouse by this bridge that we were guarding. And there was a tank parked outside. And so we were kind of on patrol, you know, guarding around and everything. And I could hear German music. And it was the first time I heard Lily Marlene being sung in German. And it was coming from this tank, so I thought, my God, there's a German tank. So we climbed on top of the tank, and then I could hear this German announcer, you know, talking about stuff, you know. And then they played this Lily Marlene in German. And this was before it became popular in England and everything. And so I put my gun down there, and I said, get out of there. And he said, what's up? He spoke in English. I said, you're listening to German. He said, yes, I've just happened to find it on the radio, you know. We thought he was a German in the tank.
He was just playing around.
He was just fooling around. He was twisting it down. Because we heard this German, you know, and he said, I was just listening to it. And we took him in the guardhouse. Oh, God. And then this little guardhouse that we were sleeping in, it was all bombed out and everything, you know, but they had a floor that we could sleep on. And we were all quiet, and there was a lull in the bombardment, and we could hear it tick, 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 tick. I said, my God, there's a bomb in here, you know. And you know what it was? We finally we got our flashlight, turned the light on, and it was a death watch beetle. And these beetles make a noise, and they go tick, tick, tick. And we thought it was a time bomb or something. I mean, that's how kind of scared you're on edge all the time. You know, anything was going to happen.
Must have been incredible stress.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you were hyped up all the time. You know, I mean, you go, 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 go. You know.
Were there a lot of casualties in the group or unit that you were in?
Not so many in my group, but we actually got more casualties after the landing because the Germans had these what they call a 75mm gun. And that gun was going off all the time, aiming for us. See, they were trying to knock out the canal and all these locks that we were guarding. And you'd hear the thump, you'd hear a thump, and we thought, well, here it comes. And then you'd hear the shell coming. You know. So one day we had a bunch of barges come in with supplies for the troops. And we were going to start unloading, and why we didn't, I don't know. But anyway, we said, well, we have to do something else, and we left. And just as we left, it, boom, a shell landed and blew at the barges right where we would have been if we could have stayed there, you know. So there's all kinds of freak circumstances and happenings, you know, that occurred.
So like you were at the right place at the right time.
Oh yeah. Many times, we'd be walking like they had one of the bombed out French houses. They had a field kitchen that they'd set up. We were on our own, but we were helping the guys that were using this kitchen, and they had these great big, we had portable burners, we had metal frames that were stands, and then we had these great big steel, well, just like that thing there, the food would be put in, and they made a flamethrower that would go underneath, and it would heat all of these things, you know, to heat the food and everything. And we were taking something to this house one day, and we heard the bump and the and we dove out of the way, and the guy behind me got it. In fact, he had part of his leg blown off, and he was sent back. You know, anytime you're wounded, you were sent back. So he was sent back, and I never saw him again.
Well, so what time did you come ashore that day?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, well,
it was sometime in the morning, I think.
So how far, you know, how many hours behind were you from the first wave, approximately?
Oh, 2 or 3 hours. Probably.
Now, when the first wave went ashore, you know, from what I saw on TV, there was like a 40-minute barrage of just nonstop firing back and forth between the Allied troops and the Germans. Just between the battleships and the gun batteries on the coast. Now, did you hear any of that when you were on the way over there?
All the time.
Did you hear that barrage of, you know?
Yeah, you could see it.
Yeah,
you know,
lighting up the sky.
Yeah.
Because you were out crossing the channel at the time that the first wave was landing.
Well, we were behind them.
Right.
We were already there, in actual fact.
Oh, you were just waiting to come ashore.
For our turn, yeah. And like I said, the down Stuka bombers were coming down all the time.
So you were out there watching.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was just a massive smoke.
Knowing that your turn was coming
up.
up.
And then one time, these German guns that were shelling us all the time when we were guarding this canal, they tried everything to get rid of these because they were so devastating. They could drop that shell wherever they wanted. I mean, they had everything pinpointed. And they could put that shell just about wherever they wanted to. So finally, in order to get rid of them, they brought in 3 rocket ships. And these were like long landing craft, and they were rocket after rocket after rocket, all lined up on these ships. And they set these 3 ships, they set the rockets off, and it was and then, of course, the boats, after the rockets had gone off, were useless. It just burned the boats up. And then about 2 minutes after the rockets all landed where this German gun was, they didn't get them. They must have been dug in so far, you know.
Oh, the concrete fortification was just immense.
Yeah, it was just. In fact, we cheered when we heard the gun go off because we were glad that they survived. We'd see the guys and we'd wave to them, you know, and sometimes we'd answer with a bump. Yeah, the shell would come out.
The only way you could penetrate those pillboxes was a little slit in the front where they
Oh yeah. I mean, those walls were so thick. I mean, at least 6 feet thick.
The Americans built them in Hawaii too. Remember all the pillboxes we saw in the mountains of Hawaii?
Yeah.
Did you see them, Heather?
I don't remember.
Well, when we went to Copenhagen, we went to the northern end of the island, and I don't think you went with us, but Wanda and I, we were told that there were still some German fortifications left. So we walked to the end of the island, and sure enough, here was a German pillbox with the same thick concrete walls and everything. And of course, they're so thick, they didn't bother taking them down. They just leave them standing, you know. Couldn't. Yeah.
So did you have to deal with the hedgerows at all?
Oh yeah. Those things were the earth embankments were as high as your head.
Weren't they hundreds of years old?
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And then out of the embankments were the hedges, so you could hardly get through the damn things. In fact, there was one film on the other day where they showed a tank trying to get over it, and it went thud and stopped there. They couldn't get over the damn thing.
And they were excellent cover for the German troops.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Oh, they were famous, those hedgerows. Oh, I should say infamous. Oh.
Is he to open this, Heather?
Well, that's...
He can't. It happens to be the same book.
Well, one of you
does some writing in this one, so we're going
This
to
is Heather's
so we'll
book
just
here.
leave this one.
That's going to take
That's a wonderful remembrance. I think it was great of you to buy
And
that.
it's very Johnny good for crying out loud.
We have some pictures of Sword Beach in there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, it might be chicken.
What's that?
And it might be chicken.
Oh, see, they're not wrong down. Where the hell did you get
Where on
that?
earth did you get that? You're in town, Tim?
Probably got it.
No, it's down.
Wow, I haven't seen it.
No, I don't either.
Isn't that something?
Oh, it's a lighter. Oh, be down. Great.
Where did you
I,
find that?
I saw those advertised and I thought, I wonder where I can get
Is
them.
that Things Remembered at, I got it at Crossroads?
Oh,
So are you totally
hold it up
burned
to the
out on
camera,
watching D-Day specials
Dad.
for the last couple weeks?
no, Gary, because I have
they're all
learned
different.
things that I didn't
Well,
even know.
because I was going to say, you know, the Arts and Entertainment Network's got a 3-hour special on
Yeah,
tonight.
TV right now starts
Oh,
at
yeah.
7.
Right.
Yeah.
Dad, turn it towards the camera and I'll try to get a close-up of it.
Yeah? Oh.
Hold
Yeah,
on
I
a
think
second.
there are a lot of veterans out there who are honest.
see,
They
'cause I can
will
bring it
admit that
closer.
they're finding out things that they didn't know about the war.
Oops, wait a minute, Dad. You're out of camera. Put it right down a little bit.
I think it's on
There
again
you
at
go.
11. I'm thinking I'm going to tape that when I get home.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'd like to watch that.
Okay.
Well,
Got
I
it.
got it, honey. I'll just say it for you.
Well, I'll just tape it then when I get home.
Yeah. Well, these things are famous, the Zippo lighters.
Yeah.
Is that some crest or special
I'm
seal on
hoping
there?
that you and Roll will buy them
Yeah,
some
that's
things.
the seal.
You know,
Yeah,
Yeah, you really
It's a
should
solar
because they
special.
probably have a lot of
They promised me they would tape
Were you
things
part
for
of,
us.
Yeah?
of any of these groups that came and they had?
Yeah, right here. Right here.
Got
Nothing.
called.
Yeah, that means the names.
Yeah, well, see, the thing was, we were under the Second Army, I think it was called. Yeah, Second Army, British Second Army. But then it was divided up into different corps, and then it was split again, you see. And see here, right here, Royal Marine Commandos, right here. Yeah, right. And then we landed right there on the Sword Beach. Yeah.
Rangers.
Yeah. Here's the 4th Commandos. See, this is 48th Royal Marine Commandos.
And what they did was
This
they were
41 Royal
Uncle
Marine
Locks.
Commandos. See, we were all
They put
Royal
the-
Marines
They
here.
shot those hooks
Oh, yeah,
up there,
that's
grappling
We
hooks.
landed. We used to
They ended up
this is
getting
the
up there and
Canal
finding out
right
there
here.
was nobody up
Canal
there.
we were
Yeah, that's
guarding,
right, Joe, which I didn't know before.
Most of them got killed doing it.
And they had this big harbor, and we had to stretch this net across to stop torpedoes.
How tall those, you know, all of
Careful
you children
wilderness.
someday have to go
I
back
saw
home.
that.
You can't imagine how tall those cliffs are until you see them. An American cemetery.
So this, what
There
was
probably
this?
is no more
seal
beautiful
patch?
cemetery in the world than that one.
That was the plastic we wore afterwards.
Oh, after.
Afterwards, yeah.
This entire thing? Or is this-
Yeah, the whole thing. Oh, thank you. This one,
And
Beth.
Joe,
You and Beth?
you know, at the time I went there, I said to
Oh,
Wally,
yeah. It's got
they
something
had
here
to
from
have built
Dwight.
this in a certain way
Oh,
to
Dwight
have it
has
so
one, yeah.
perfect,
I didn't
and none
know.
of the
Yeah.
crosses have sunk. Well, then when he and I got back, we found out that under the ground, they're all put into
This is
cement.
for Beth and Gary.
So those crosses will never, ever move.
The crosses are put into cement.
This?
Crosses,
No, that's from us.
crosses of
Oh,
marble
oh,
are set
thank
in
you.
cement. So they'll never move. They're just perfect. They are as perfect today as they were today.
Oh, yeah.
I was really amazed that the Germans are
Oops,
buried there
getting
too.
blurry.
Not in that same cemetery, but another one.
Another
nearby.
one. They're not far from it, yeah.
But they were so dark and all the tombs
But it really surprised me that they would bury the Germans there.
Well, you know, I caught the tail end of that special with Dan Rather, and
I only caught the tail end of it.
well, when I saw the cemetery, I just that's such a, you know,
It's huge.
it's beautiful.
But it's
I
You
mean,
mean the
also
American
huge.
cemetery?
well, when they
Yeah,
pulled,
it's the American
Yeah,
Cemetery
over
at Omaha
9,000.
Beach.
yeah, but they pulled back from Dan Rather and General Schwarzkopf, and they showed
it's
the
just
entire view of the cemetery
vast.
on the coast.
Yeah.
I just thought, man, that is just
Well,
beautiful.
as I say, Gary, you children have to go back there someday.
I mean,
because
it was
it's so
such a,
impressive.
it was beautiful but frightening at the same time. It was very striking.
Well, and all the crosses are made of marble.
All those crosses, yeah, it was just
I'm telling
stunning to
you,
see.
Joe,
all.
they will
Wait a
never
minute.
shift at all because
They
the
set them on
Americans
concrete.
set them under the earth in concrete.
Yeah.
So they're
Put it into view.
Yeah,
they'll
it's
never
just
change.
visually stunning to
Oh,
see.
yeah.
Them. It
It
just-
is.
I would just sat there.
It's the
Wow.
most beautiful cemetery I've seen. In fact, I think it surpasses Arlington. I really do. I think it's more impressive than Arlington.
Oh, yeah.
Now, have you been there in person?
Where?
When,
Arlington?
no, the cemetery.
Yeah.
Daddy and I
We were there when my mother
They're
died.
still running you? No. When Daddy and I went there, he and I were very melancholy that day. And when we got back to America, we found out that was the day they buried his
Yeah,
mother.
which we didn't know. They were trying to get a hold of us in Europe. They called the American embassy and everything. Well, they never would have found us anyway because we don't go by any itinerary. We go by ourselves, you know. So, of course, they were calling all over the place trying to find us. And right at the very moment my mother was being buried, that was when we were in the American cemetery.
What year was that?
That was 1975, right? Yeah.
But also how you rarely ever called her or wrote
Oh,
her
yeah.
unless your wife gave you a big nudge. And that morning, we had spent, what, 2 weeks in England?
Yeah.
And saw
Well,
his mother.
Lynn and Stu were married.
They got married.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had spent a lot of time with his mother. But at the airport, he said to me, out of the